Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. Hey hustlers, my name is Christian and I am the host of the Hustle Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm very excited and very grateful to have you here on today's episode, the Hustle Show, episode number 3. I'm very excited for our guest today, Jeremy Wenger, because he's gonna talk to us about how he was able to overcome some of the worst feelings that you can feel in your life, overcome them, make them a business, a passionate business, and start monetizing it. On top of that, he has great insights on how to shift your negative thoughts into positive ones and how to stay motivated when things get rough. Before we jump into our call, remember that all the show notes for the episode, you can find them at thehustleshow.co/THS3. That's The Hustle Show, THS3. Where you can join our free book club as well, where you can find some of our favorite entrepreneurial books that have changed my life, and I know that could change your life as well. Plus, we're gonna be having a lot of freebies and a lot of content in the website, so make sure that you check it out at thehustleshow.co. If you're new to the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button, or if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm very happy to have you here again. And please do me a favor, and if you haven't given us a review yet, make sure that you give us a review, give us your thought, whether you like it or not. I'd rather have you like it and give us a 5-star, but just share your feedback, because that's the way that I'm gonna be able to continually improve the show, continually to bring guests, and continually improving the show for you, because that's my purpose, to provide the best motivational experience for you based on whatever feedback you give me. So make sure that you give me a review. You go into iTunes or Stitcher, whatever your favorite podcast player is, and you give us a review and just share your feedback. It's going to mean the world to me. Very, very important for the show. So without further ado, let's jump into the call with Jeremy Wenger. Today's show, we have Jeremy. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited to have you here and to share your story, man. I know you do a lot of great things for other people. You try to help them to overcome when they lose somebody, and try them to come back to life. So I wanted everybody to hear your story and how how are you doing this, and basically just share your hustle story.
My parents divorced when I was 10. There was a dysfunctional family, suffered multiple forms of abuse publicly and privately, and from my dad. And I got my start in marketing, but ironically enough, because my mom made me go work with my dad, which I hated. And at the time, I was just like, it was just bleh. But I learned a lot from him of what to do, what not to do. One of them being able to talk with people. And he could not communicate to save his life. And the employees didn't really respect him because of how abusive he was towards me in public, and he just wasn't a great person, people person. Great, had a heart of gold, but it just didn't know much on some areas. But and so the employees didn't want me to cry wolf, and so I had a position of leverage, and that's where I used it to bring peace in the atmosphere, and worked in for 6.5 years. But that's where I was going to take my life at 16, but that's when I actually received Jesus in my heart. And that's what turned my life around, and what caused me to actually forgive my dad. And our relationship was being restored up to the night that I went to go see him. God actually put it on my heart to go see him, completely out of the blue. Didn't make any sense. And went to go see him, and the following Sunday I got the call that he'd been murdered. And we were actually on the way to the family reunion that we go to every year, 12 hours away, and we got the phone call, and it turned into a funeral. And so going through all of that, and God brought me through all of that, and they finally found the guy that's accused for the homicide last September in 2016. And it was like a switch was just flipped in me. Gone through different business ventures and stuff. Was a missionary overseas for a year. Moved up to Nashville 4 years ago, and just always have found myself helping people in their strategy, and they're just finding their message. And it's like a switch was flipped, and I'm like, there are so many people that need healing. And it's like the phrase when people have when people go to buy a motorcycle, they don't want to talk to anyone of their friends that have a motorcycle because they're going to tell them about the time that they did crash and letting them know that the time that they will crash. And that's why they don't want to talk about it. And but it's the same thing with people. There's two groups of people: that ones that have lost some loved ones and those that will. But yeah, it's like I thought to myself, I'm like, man, I knew what I was struggling with. I knew what I went through and what I overcame, and I just found myself being able to be there for people that people normally wouldn't be able to. I'm meeting these people over social media to share my story because I forgave the guy who killed my dad. Like, I have no animosity, and like we've already had the preliminary hearing, and it's graduated to grand jury. I've been waiting 6 years to look this guy dead in the eyes and to say, look, man, I forgave you, and Jesus loves you. And that's it. That's what I've been waiting for almost 7 years now. And now it's in the process of me being able to do that. So on my venture on this adventure to go tell him this in the right channels where he'll actually receive it. And even if he doesn't, who cares? I've done my part. Found myself being able just to really connect with people and just help them and love them in their progress and their walk. And it's, man, people have just thanked me, and it's not even because it's like, oh, cool. No, this is an honor. Like, you don't. This is something you can't put a price tag on. Like, you can't sell this in a course. And it's because everyone's different. And yeah, there's some things that people go through, and and that their situations are different, but the root is the same. And that's why it's just been amazing. And it all goes back to community. It really does.
Right. I mean, it's pretty shocking, your story, but at the same time, it's a pretty interesting story of how you turn it around, man. So that's kudos to you. I mean, you were able to turn it around, and because I know how many people, when something like that happens, they just cannot let go, they cannot forgive, and the only thing that they cause is themselves. I mean, they harm themselves by living in this with this repression and with all this mixed feelings. Just they're torturing themselves.
And that's a huge thing, man. That's what I've found. A lot of people are struggling with so many different things, like just shame. For what though? Like, I wish I could have done better. I wish there was something more I could have done. Like, say if someone lost a newborn, the husband, I've seen that husbands will feel either helpless, or that they could have done something, or that they feel subconsciously responsible for something. They just can't put their finger on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's when you're doing things for passion, and that's what I keep telling everybody. When it's your inner passion, and you do it for a living, there's really no price for that
at all, and it energizes you too. Like, no matter how tired you are, you want to donate sleep. You're like, man, here you go, Goodwill, and chuck it, and be like, or PayPal to somebody, and then that way you get rest, like rebooted, like power up like Goku. Yeah, same plug, but no. But you're rebooted up, man, and it's amazing. But that's one of the coolest things is that took me a long time to learn that too. I was always like, man, I had to be hard on myself. You have to work extremely hard, pay your dues. But, well, yeah, duh. You have to be able to put in the hard work, but why not put the hard work focused on what you're passionate about?
right?
Like,
Yeah.
If you need a job, go get a job at something that someone's doing something similar to what you're passionate about. Learn. Don't jump out both feet first like you did and risk everything. And dude, I went through my ups and downs, and holy cow, been homeless and been through stuff. And I mean, heck, it took a big hit last month, but bounced back. But it's like, that's the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. But people being able to define your passion first, but then understanding the timing, like, that's huge. We have to be able to categorize that, man, because no matter what we do, when it's our passion, it's everything else we do. Everything else we do. You can cut the grass. You can go wash the dishes. You can go take a friend to the store, and you're always learning something new about that. It's because you're obsessed about it. Like, that's the only word to put to it. How Grant Cardone talks about be obsessed or be average. But also don't shove stuff down people's throat, but close them in a right way that brings value. 100%. But it's like, because when you're passionate about it, you're not going to be forceful. You're going to be understanding. You're going to also put towards effort to create that experience that that because you're in love with that prospect, that you want to create that aspect for them, that experience. And it's really about bringing not like, you know what I mean by saying love, your compassion, you're caring for them, because it's not a price tag. It's a beating heart that you're taking care of. And if you're not adding value, then what's the point? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And so evaluating it, defining that, and start putting effort towards it. Just to chip away at it, or jump in if you're both feet if you're in a good state.
Yeah. So how was the evolution? How did you turn all this passion and all this conversation with people and meeting people and trying to help them? How were you able to transition from that into a business? How were you able to turn it into a business?
Yeah, it's a good question, man. Because I was battling with it for a while. I was like, I couldn't find it in myself to charge for like grief coaching. I'm not a psychiatrist, never have been, don't care to be. Like I've been to one because I prescribed me ADHD medication when I was younger. Surprise, right? But no, but it was interesting. But like I never really got anything out of it, and I just it was to the point where going through school and going through different things and looking back, I was like, always been entrepreneurial minded. I mean, I was selling Skittles and Starburst in middle school for $1 a pop, and it was awesome. Like, I would go to school with a backpack full of Starburst and Skittles, and I would come home with a couple $100 a week. And middle school, I'm like, heck yeah, this is fun. And so, but that's where it's like, looking back and always having that mindset of an opportunity where I can actually truly value that, where I can lay my head down on the pillow at night and sleep peacefully. You know, it's like, how do you monetize your passion without making yourself cringe? You know, it's because you would do it for free. Duh, you've been doing it for like your life. You've been thinking about it nonstop. But it's like, it came to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm right now partnering up with organizations that are that have the same passion. So this way, as like, we're gonna roll out a monthly subscription. So this way, I can focus 100% on creating more content and building more of a better experience for people. And it's just going to be great. I'm actually in talks with a wellness clinic up here in Nashville. And so it's been speaking with people like them and other organizations that are doing very well. Would really like to partner with Boys and Girls Club. That would be awesome. And so that's where that's at. And then also having a greeting cards gifting service that's working with funeral homes and helping business owners actually to step in the gap after like the 4-week period after the funeral, when people go back to normal lives, helping them brand themselves with funeral homes 7 times faster in a very unique way.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I mean, it does sound like you're pretty busy though. That's good. You know, it's always better to keep busy, but I mean, what you do is truly admirable. You know, that you started doing it basically just for the passion, and later on you try to monetize it later. But when you started monetizing it, did you have any doubts that you could actually get $1 for what you're doing?
Oh yeah. And so it's like, it was interesting because we haven't rolled out the monthly subscription yet, but when it comes to the greeting card and gifting service, we're having a lot of people that in the beginning said, I don't know about that. And I'm like, look, that's where I come in. I help you out. And it's been amazing. And that's the thing. A lot going on all at once, having the right team in place, and that passion, man.
That passion driving you there. So when you say we in delegating, do you have a team, or is it just yourself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I would not be able to do this without my team.
Did you ever thought that you were not somebody that could actually start and run a business doing this in your industry? Or how was that feeling? What kind of thoughts did you have back then?
Absolutely, man. Like, those kind of thoughts you cannot escape those thoughts. Like, period, in a story. When you're about to jump out in your passion and do something to really help people, even hustle for what it is that you want, dude, you cannot avoid those thoughts entering your mind, period. Like, it will always happen no matter what. Because it's like saying, oh, I'm going to start a business and be like, oh yeah, no problem. You know, it's like, there's nothing bad's going to happen. Good luck. But it's like, there's always going to be bad in the world no matter what we do. And so you're going to face challenges, period. And if you don't have tough skin to handle what you're going on with right now in your current life, please do everyone in your life a favor and don't start that, because you're going to, like, it's this principle of what happens in the small stuff will always be amplified in the bigger stuff. And if what you're doing on the small things right now will always be amplified in what you're going to do, it's not easy. Like, everyone would do it, but also it's not meant for everyone. Like, period. And a lot of people are getting, and this is something that actually pisses me off, that I notice a lot of people are getting hyped up on, you know, you got to be an entrepreneur to be successful, or even you have to be an entrepreneur to be good enough. When in reality, 20 of the world's billionaires are employed. It's to the point where you have to thrive in your strengths, man, because you're never going to be able to escape those thoughts. But when you do what you enjoy, you're always going to be energized, and it all goes back to your joy. That's the root of it all. Because those thoughts that come across your mind, you have to be able to speak out the right things to defeat those mindsets. Like, that's one of the biggest things is growing up as people. We have those, what I call grooves in our thought processes. We've got things that are going to fly over our head, but also we have those things that are going to be able to, from our childhood, they will creep up. Period. End of story. We all have things that we struggle with, and that's why it's super important for masterminds to be able to get in those tight-knit circles that help you overcome those things. And it's not like a BNI or anything. BNI is great for the right people, but at the same time, it's something where we have to be able to, we really have to be able to connect and help each other in our weaknesses. Think about it like this. So, this is really cool. Right now, Christian, I want you to think in your mind from 1 to 10. But when I tell you to say your name, I'm not going to tell you when, but I want you to say your name when I tell you to say your name. All right?
Okay.
And so I want you to start counting from, actually, you know what? Count from 1 to 25 in your mind. Like, literally, just start counting in your mind. And when I tell you to say your name, you verbally say your name, okay? So go ahead and start counting. Say your name.
Christian.
What happened up here? Did you interrupt and stop?
Yeah.
That's how we control our thoughts. Whenever those things come into our mind, we speak the things that we know we need to. Do what you don't feel like doing, or say what you know you need to say about yourself, the truth about yourself, even when you don't feel like saying it, and you'll feel like it after you say it. And that's super crucial, man. And that is a truth that will forever be in existence. So if you speak health of your body, if you speak into your business as saying things are going to work out, it is going to be fine, I will get a contract to meet my needs, to feed my family, to meet my needs, to meet my bills, and to live a life that I want to, it will come to pass. It's a law of gravity. End of story. So yeah, there's always going to be those thoughts, but it's a matter of being able to really be able to speak healthy things, life-breathing things over ourselves, to love ourselves first before we give to other people. It's been tough, dude, but the thing is, it's going to be so worth it. As things just break and just go through, and just staying consistent and not giving up. You only lose when you give up, period.
You're definitely right on that. I think persistence is probably one of the key elements on entrepreneurship, not giving up. And even if the odds look pretty bad, you keep going, you keep hustling, and you keep just at it. So if that's your mindset towards entrepreneurship, what would you say then is the secret for success for you?
The biggest thing is finding your passion. We always want to know what is that one domino that's going to knock everything else in place. We love those Rube Goldberg machines. We love those things as a kid, and that's like business. We want to know that one thing that will knock all the things in place, because when it comes to our passion, that's the glue that holds everything together. From what I've seen, and the people that I've connected with who are doing 7-8 figures, and that's what they always talk about. And here's the thing, and this is going to help out a lot of people too, man. When you reach out to somebody on social media, do not ever ask them what they do. Ever. Please, dear God, don't. Because this is what I've seen that's allowed me to connect with people who are of stature that are direct business partners to Kevin Harrington. Hello, you don't just get that without being like, oh yeah, I am the best. No one cares. Because anyone can go to Upwork, anyone can go to the Philippines, anyone can go to things and undercut you any day of the week. And so the story behind what got you to where you are, your passion, and the things that help you stay ingrained in what you're doing and focused. That is key. And because one of the biggest things is that what happens when you have a down month? What happens when your bank account hits zero? What happens when you're overdrawn? What happens when you walk into a meeting that you're overdrawn $300 in every single one of your accounts and you land a $30,000 investment deal? How do you do that? Staying focused. Forget about the negativity. Forget about your circumstances. Forget about what's going on right now. Where are you going? Of course, do not ignore what's going on. Take the precautionary measures. And if you take the right measures at the beginning, that won't happen. But sometimes it does happen no matter what. That's life. But the biggest thing is your passion. How you find your passion is crucial. Because, I mean, for me, I found my passion. I mean, it's staying connected with Jesus Christ. That's where I root everything in with me. I'm not perfect. I've never claimed to be, thank God, because I am not going to try to uphold that standard. Someone else has done that. But the biggest thing is that's where I stand up with my belief. And that's where, irregardless, finding your passion. That is the number one thing for success, man, is finding your passion. And finding a way. Get creative, man. Like, if you're not able to pay bills in your passion, heck, do what you have to do for right now and put money aside. Stop trying to get so impatient. I'm just speaking to somebody around the podcast watching this, man. It's like, someone's going to be watching this and needs to hear this, man. You need to hone down on your passion and stop trying to figure out everything under the sun. No matter how crazy or how awesome Bitcoin may be, if you're not passionate about it, stop trying to figure it out. Yeah, I have nothing against Bitcoin. It's cool and all, it's intriguing, but like, go for practical. And there's so much when it comes to legalities and business and insurance and making sure that the customer experience is 100% rock star experience. I mean, thinking back behind when you went through an experience that you will never forget, you need to be able to provide that kind of experience in your passion. If you can't do it right now, do what you can with what you have until you can grow into what you want to be. And that is so important. Like, that is something that I really want to stress to everyone that's watching this. You know, like for me, there's so many creative ways to be able to bring your passion to the market. I mean, for one, it needs to make sense. And two, like it has to be able to bring value. If this hits home with one person, fantastic. That's all that matters the most to me. Like, that's all I care about. And so that is super crucial, man. Just finding your passion. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. So hopefully all the hustlers that are listening to this resonate with this message and, take you on this advice. I mean, go look for your passion and go put everything you got on it. Changing gears a little bit from your story towards what I like to call the hustle round, where I'm basically going to give you a word and you're going to tell me the first word that comes into your mind. It needs to be one single word, okay? I don't want a full explanation, just a single word that comes to your mind when you hear whatever I say. Are you ready?
So you want to go there?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just one word. That's your limit.
Let's go.
Hustle.
Work.
Work?
Yeah.
The word work?
Yeah, okay. Work. Yeah, work.
No, I meant the next word. Yeah, the next word is work.
Are you kidding me? Stress.
Employee.
Liability. No, just kidding. No, no, ambassador.
Rules.
Pain in the butt. Sorry, that's 4 words. But no, structure.
College.
Waste.
Fear.
Useless.
Weakness.
Vulnerability.
Strength.
Servitude.
Motivation.
Crucial.
Books. Cool. All right. We made it through. That's awesome, man. And just before we end up the show and we closed up, looks like we made it with that 40% battery on your phone. I know we've been talking about it throughout the episode about how to, a message that you want to share with the hustlers that are listening to us right now, something motivational to keep them going, to keep them, hustling on whatever they're doing, either their passion or their business, or even if they're still an employee and they're trying to take that leap, you know, what would you say to them to motivate them?
One very, very quaint thing. Whatever you're focusing on and whatever you're driving to, fall in love with who you're going to serve. And the power that you're going to obtain from what you're doing is just another level of servanthood. And that's the only reason why you're given the gifts that you have to serve better. Until you have that mindset, you will never reach the potential that you have on the inside of you. The more you fall in love with who you're going to serve in the market and do what you can, that right there is what's going to truly make the gateway or just pave the road for the result you want to be at and the time frame. But also it's going to create it's going to just really pull out the passion inside of you. But until you fall in love with the people, and I mean that in the way that I say it, you have to be able to fall in love with the people that you're about to serve in the gifts and the products that you're going to bring to the marketplace, because that's exactly what you're doing essentially. It is serving, because until you bring that value, you'll never ever reach that pinnacle point of where you're supposed to be at. Until you have that mindset, you're always going to fall short. So I encourage you, wherever you're at in your entrepreneurial journey, no matter if you're a CEO of a 9-figure company down to the guy who's just starting and bootstrapping stuff, fall in love with the people that you're serving, because those are not numbers. Those are actual people. Every statistic, every CPC, every CPA, yada, 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 that you have, every client acquisition you get is a beating heart, is connected to families and people who need what you have. You will never, ever achieve that until you have that mindset. Serve until you can't serve anymore, because that'll be your legacy. Just stay joyful. Stay in what you enjoy. Because I mean, think about it. The word enjoy, the prefix en means to be inside of. So when you're living your passion, you're doing what you enjoy, you'll always be inside of joy. You'll always be happy. You'll always find a solution for stuff. You're going to get so creative and find a way to do it that you're not going to be focused on the problems. The problems will come and go. It's like feelings. So it's so important to stay focused on your passion, what you enjoy, so that way you live inside of that state of mind, and you're going to attract so many awesome things, and it's going to be great for you, and you'll be living your dream no matter what state of the process you're in. Just enjoy the journey and just stay focused on your passion, because that'll also create understanding and which will create patience, because you can't be patient unless you understand things are going to work out, and you can't understand things are going to work out unless you do what you enjoy, because you're always going to be energized by it. And that is crucial.
Very cool. I love that, man. So just before we leave here the call, any way that people can connect with you, either website or anything that people can follow you?
Yeah. Just Google my name. First one in the world. Not kidding. Like, seriously, you can Google my name and like my LinkedIn pops up number one in the world, but it's like, it's not like everyone's going to search like for Jeremy Wenger, you know, but they can just, I tell you what, to get my journal, that's what I want them to do. Just go to my Facebook page, shoot me a message. It'll walk them through all that. The chatbot will walk them through that. Give them access, because once they go through that on my Facebook page, they'll be able to get broadcasts for if they have lost a loved one, if they haven't, updates for upcoming events and special guests and speakers and stuff. So I think that's going to be the best way to go to my Facebook page, Jeremy Wenger's page. That's what it's called, or Jeremy Wenger Official on Facebook, and they can go through there, and that way they get that, and they can get updates for their interests, and that way they don't get spam for all the irrelevant stuff.
Very cool. Yeah, and I'll make sure that I have all those links, so I'll make sure that I link it in the page notes in our website at thehustleshow.co.
I was just saying, if you want, just m.me/Jeremy Wenger Official, and they can all just shoot me a message through there, and I'll just keep them up to speed on everything.
Yeah, that's the link you share with me, right?
Yep, that's one.
Okay, cool.
And it's actually working now.
Okay, cool. So I'll shoot another message to see it in action.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, man, and giving us all this motivational message for everybody out there that's hustling or that could possibly lose somebody. But not only that, I mean, getting prepared as well, because we all gonna lose everybody. That is the only sure thing that we have in life. So thank you so much for chatting with us and for connecting.
I can appreciate the time, man. I really appreciate the opportunity for you to allow me to come on here and just share my heart, man. I can't thank you enough. It's refreshing. So I appreciate it.
So there you have it, Jeremy Wenger, an amazing and incredible hustler story, and some very, very useful, actionable tips that he shared with us, especially the one where he made me count from 1 to 25, and literally when he asked me to say my name out loud, the numbers stop in my head. And ever since he told me that trick, I've been applying it every day. Every time I have a negative thought, or every time I feel like I'm having a bad day, I just yell out and I just say it out loud, whatever positive thing I want. Either I love my show, I'm a very positive person, I'm successful, I'm going to hit my goals very soon. Whatever your goal is, just say it out loud. It's truly incredible the way that it breaks your negativity, and it just shifts your mindset immediately. Within a few seconds, you shift your mindset, you break those thoughts, and you basically turn them around and make them more positive. Anywho, thank you so very much for listening to the episode today, to the Hustle Show episode number 3. Remember that you can find all the show notes that we talked about, including a way to contact Jeremy in case you want to prepare for somebody that may leave soon, or if you lost somebody recently. Make sure you connect with him. He's an amazing guy. He's super funny. He was an incredible guest. He's so positive. He's so pumped. He's just an amazing person to connect with, to talk to, and I truly believe that he can help you overcome those challenges in your life. Okay. And if you want to connect, make sure you do go to thehustleshow.co/th3, where we will have the show notes and we have the link directly to connect with Jeremy. And make sure you tune in on our next episode next Monday. It's going to be truly amazing. It's an inspiring hustler story of how this person was able to come into the US not knowing a bit of English, learn English. She became a top leader in her industry, and she shares with us how she was able to do it and how you can apply those same strategies and tactics that she's going to share on the Hustle Show episode 4. So make sure you tune in next week on Monday. And remember that you can watch all our episodes on our YouTube channel, or you can listen in our audio experience. All right? Keep hustling.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Hustle Show audio experience. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And even if you didn't, make sure you subscribe to the podcast right now. It's still free. Visit thehustleshow.co for all the show notes and to watch the video experience of this episode. We'll see you soon.